after all these years, and I imagine it only took a few years to see it play out, was IBM sold a ton of IBM PCs, and DOS was the operating system.
On that.
And then everybody else adopted DOS because all the application makers, all the software vendors were targeting DOS as the platform. And so Microsoft sort of accrued a huge amount of benefit.
You became the point of integration.
Yeah, in the old world, IBM would have accrued that sort of platform benefit. Did they see
they were selling a lot of computers and making profit also. They would have been making more profit than we were at the time, just the way pricing worked. There was a little twisty in here, though, I should throw at you if you're curious. These things had something called the BIOS, Basic Input-Output System, which was the lowest layer of firmware, sort of first-level software built into the hardware. And IBM had its own BIOS. And some applications became BIOS dependent. And so then the question is, who was going to do an IBM compatible BIOS? We weren't going to get into that game. We didn't want to have that intellectual property, other arguments, but there were people then.
Compaq ultimately became the big company.
Compaq became the big company. I don't remember whether they wrote their own
I think they
IBM compatible BIOS, but they were the first one to be IBM compatible. There were plenty of people who ran MS-DOS who were actually not IBM compatible because they didn't do a compatible BIOS.
I see. So IBM sort of thought, oh, we've got some protection from Microsoft kind of disintermediating us from all the developers and all the potential customers because targeting our BIOS is going to be important and unreplicatable.
Now, one thing you have to remember, because we live in the modern world now, when you say all the developers, that wasn't a long list. Remember, there was no software industry to speak of when we
this
got
is the creation
started.
of the software industry.
There were a couple of software companies that made packages for IBM mainframes, but almost everything was custom. So really, I would say a few other companies, but I'm going to say we defined what a modern software business looked like. And the notion that there could be lots of developers, and there were some, but it's not like we think today, there was developers doing lots of standard applications. No. And there was no licensing model, no business model, no nothing. VisiCalc was around.
So it would have been counterintuitive or required too many mental hops to think, we're IBM, wait, are we giving away the future by allowing someone to distribute a wide operating system that ends up being the target that everyone standardizes on, which eventually, created all of modern Microsoft.
Exactly. I mean, just you sort of can't blame them because there was nothing to build off of. But yeah, one of the things my little PowerPoint here says is luck is important in the creation of great companies. It is. And a lot of people, sort of say, we're masters of the universe. We figure everything out. We never have any luck. And it's because we're so talented. And sure, there are talented people and hardworking people. Most people have a little luck in their story. And this was our big luck.
Clearly. But when you were negotiating this, signing it, and then those first couple of years before the clone market really took off, did you think that this could happen?
No. I can't remember what year it would have been, but Andy Grove, who was running Intel at the time, said, yeah, pretty soon we'll be selling 100 million PCs a year. I don't know, sometime in the 80s, I think. It might have even been in the 90s. And Bill and I laughed and said, that's not going to happen. We invested big time. And if it did happen, we said, that's great. We're not going to underinvest. But we thought, he's crazy. This market will never grow like that. I would say we classically underforecast. That was kind of our tendency.
So the deal gets signed with IBM. You end up shipping DOS. It goes on the IBM PC. It's selling like gangbusters. When did you start to realize, whoa, what we have here is actually leverage over the ecosystem? We actually are becoming the important layer that ties this whole computing world together with the operating system.
Personal computing layer.
Oh, I think by the mid to late 80s, I mean, you make it sound very strong. No, we didn't feel very strong. There was IBM, man. IBM was still the sun, the moon, and the